What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery, and today gonna have a bit of how to draw video. This is how to draw James Howlett, aka Logan, aka the Wolverine, aka Weapon X, all that. And there are many renditions of Wolverine. Um, you have the comic book version, you have the movie, the Hugh Jackman version. I personally prefer the shorter, stockier comic book cartoon version. It's just something about it. It fits him. Short, stocky, feral. It just fits him. So we can go right to it now. And Wolverine, I always say, is basically like drawing a bunch of circles. You know, he's very short, very stocky, so I give him a wide face like this, wide face. And he's always seemed to be hunched over. Always hunched over, like he's crouching down, ready to pounce or attack. So, okay. Arms, very, say, stocky, so arms are very short and stocky. Always crouching, always in a ready position, ready to attack position. So it's like just like a bunch of circles. They make a bunch of circles. Claws out as always. Claws always out, always at the ready. Line for his fingers. Like I said, everything is round. So, like well, it's at an angle. So eyebrows, eye level here. That's basically how it starts. So I always see him as a very, it was like always wide, short, wide. So his nose is, excuse me, nose is very round. I'm gonna draw with the mask. I like the mask. Eyes are always looking. He's looking down, but his eyes are always looking up. And he either draw him with the feral growl, teeth showing. And he's known for his mask. Now, his outfit has changed over the years. It's always changed. He's had, his color scheme has also changed. So, like from the cartoon or in the old comics, you saw like with these little flaps here. They were always very very wide out like this. But recently, and I kind of like this actually. Like they made him short and more, made him closer to his head. I like that version. Mask on here, mask off. Upsides. Mask here, nose. You know, you see him. I remember him when he had like these little metal shoulder pad looking things here. Metal looking shoulder pads. Almost remind me of a samurai, like a samurai's garb. Cause they always fanned out at the shoulders and it came in like a V. Always very muscular. This is just he's short, but it's like muscles are everywhere. So a lot of definition with his muscles. Gloves here. That's fists. Got to do the claws. Now, one thing I noticed about Wolverine's design, starting from the movie, and which I think makes more sense than the comics, is that in the comics and in the cartoons, when his claws were drawn, they were always drawn like at the top of his hand. They're always drawn that way. And it wasn't until the movie where they actually made it more anatomically, it made more sense anatomically, where instead of on top of his hand, they put it in between his fingers, which makes more sense because that'd be the best way to release his claws would be between his fingers, between the knuckles. You know, like between here, we come up here. It used to come out like right here. They would start right here and then come out from the top. But in the movies, they came through his fingers, like right in the webbing right here, and it makes perfect sense. If you look at your hand, there's three spaces right here. So it made totally anatomical sense to put the claws coming through the three spaces, not on top of the hand, but in between the fingers of the hand. Made perfect sense. So when they did that, that was the first thing that I noticed. That I said, okay. I think everybody noticed that. Like when that happened in the scene, the very first X-Men movie, in the bar scene where the guy wanted to fight him after that cage match they had in the bar, and he pinned the guy to the wall, and he released his claws, and you could see his claws coming through the middle of his fingers, and like especially the middle one. You saw the middle one come through slowly. You had the first one come out fast, and the middle one came out slowly through the middle, like the webbing of his fingers. That made perfect sense. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. Anatomically, it makes sense. So when they did that, I was like, okay, they're taking this serious. That one scene right there is a classic scene. That one scene from that movie is a classic scene, mainly because it made anatomical sense. It made sense physiologically. It made perfect sense to do it. And from that point forward, I noticed that from that point forward, all the comics and all the other movies that had Wolverine in it made sure that they put the claws in between the fingers instead of on top of the fingers. Like the old X-Men cartoon, his claw was on top of the fingers. They were on top of his hand. And after the movie, after the first X-Men movie, and that bar scene, I noticed that every single comic book that had him had an image of Wolverine in it, and every other movie since of Wolverine in it had the claws coming in between the fingers. I said, okay, this is a shift right here because they weren't doing that before. They weren't. The comics were not doing that before. Now, I've drawn Wolverine before. I did a video we drawn Wolverine before. I drew him a couple of times actually, but I've never actually done a how to draw Wolverine. You know, what's the basic blueprint for his character, and it's very simple, very very simple. They also switched it up with this too. Usually, like on the old cartoons and the comics, um, yeah, like the black stripes like this, right? Excuse me. All right. You know, it's like just like a wolf or some kind of wild animal. He's always his head is always down, but his eyes are looking up. That's how he's always depicted. Like his head is down, like not in a submissive position, but in like a hunting prowler position, like pouncing position. But his eyes are always up in focus. So make sure you have that part. No, the look. No, his look is usually what sells. I mean, his facial expressions. His face really is what like sells the look, the feel of Wolverine. It's not so much the outfit. It's more so his posture, his the way he's drawn when he looks at a person. His attitude, you know, what he says, that also plays a factor. You know, yeah. Oh, and he's very, very hairy. Like that's one thing about Wolverine that's like also iconic. It's a freaking furball. Even though in the cartoons he call people furball, like Beast and so we call it furball. Like, dude, you hairy too. What in the world? I ain't gonna call somebody furball and you just as well. You're not as hairy as Beast, but you still lumberjack, fuzzy lumpkin looking dude. That's it, fuzzy lumpkin off Powerpuff Girls. Get off my property. Redneck teddy bear thing. Yeah, yeah. You know, fist always clenched, claws always out, ready for the fight, without a doubt. No need to wait for the blood. It's en route. When them claws come out, I don't know. I just want to rhyme that. Very simple design. His color scheme's also changed too. He's had like costumes with brown and yellow. That's like his classic type thing. And his famous colors are the yellow and blue. Uh, Now he has more of the uh black. No, that's really off of that also once again came from the movie, X-Men movie. A lot of what's in that movie found its way into the comics rather than the comics found its way into the movies. Usually with movies that come from comic books, the comic books influence the movie. This is one of the few times where the movie influenced the comic books. You know, the when you draw, I've seen that when people draw Wolverine, they don't draw. They use that style. They start drawing Wolverine with the Hugh Jackman look in the comics now. They've made Wolverine taller in the comics. From what I've noticed, they made him taller. You know, because Hugh Jackman is actually taller than the comic book version of Wolverine. Wolverine is said to be 5'3", 5 foot 3 inches. Hugh Jackman's like 6'2", 6'3", so but he played it so well and he fit it so perfectly that the comics ended up giving Wolverine a boost in height. They gave Wolverine a growth spurt after like 30 years. So I mean, there's still certain things from the comics that that stay true to the comic, but a lot of the stuff has actually changed. And to me, it's for the better. He actually looks, in a lot of cases, he looks better than the new version he does in the old version. I will admit, but I'm just drawing this right here for the sake of drawing. So I'm actually giving him like a mixture of the old, the 80s, 90s version with a little bit of the modern version. Hold up. Here we go. Make another one. Better. Here we go. Give him a bit of a little scruffy beard looking thing. 5 o'clock shadow look to him. He always like that like he just rolled out of a bar. As he always looked like he just rolled out of a bar from a fight. So that's basically how to draw Wolverine. Alright. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you later. Peace.